Hey, it's Andrew here at BTO Range in Conroe, Texas, and I wasn't going to do this video for the longest time, simply because of all the firestorm around it. But I felt the need to go ahead and let's talk about a little bit about this particular gun and what the company is going through. The company SIG Sauer, of course, this is a SIG Sauer P320, and what the company is going through with all of the lawsuits. And the lawsuits are one thing, but the social media, all the social media hoo-ha around this gun is yet another. And more importantly, what that means to us as a retailer of the product. Now, full disclosure, we're a SIG Sauer dealer. I'm a P320 armorer, and we carry a lot of SIG product. I mean, it's one of the only companies out there that literally has product in every aspect of what we sell, whether it's optics or ammo or rifles, pistols. I mean, there's a SIG product. So we're a full line SIG dealer. And we have a SIG rep, we're direct with SIG. We have a SIG rep, and we've talked about the 320. I've attended dealer seminars, and I brought up all of the business going around the 320. And of course, we know that 320, we know that SIG has a statement that they put out and they've doubled down on and tripled down on about the safety of the design of the 320. So what I wanted to bring out is I think everybody's talking about two different things. So mechanically, I'm going to say that SIG has a point. The fire control group on this gun is designed to where it's only going to go off if the trigger is pulled. Now, there are videos out there where people manipulate this gun to the point where they can make it go off without touching the trigger, but it involves all type of stuff being done to the gun that wouldn't normally occur typically. Now, I've seen some videos where folks are doing this with the front of the gun and making it go off, but they have to have the trigger pulled to a degree to do it. So, I mean, all that's arguable. I'm not going to argue the engineering of the gun. That's really not the point. But what's happening is the momentum that this has gotten in social media primarily is to the point now where we're seeing instructors deadlining SIGs, not allowing the 320s in the classes. We're seeing ranges not allow 320s on the firing line, and it's beginning to gain even more traction now with holster manufacturers coming out and saying they're not going to support the 320 line, and I can get that from a liability standpoint, because if SIG is saying that one of the primary reasons, let's clear this thing so it doesn't go off unintentionally, but if SIG is saying that one of the reasons that the gun is going off in the holster is because if the holster retention point is in the trigger and the gun otherwise has the ability to move inside the holster, that's one reason. So some holster manufacturers are saying, okay, fair enough, we're not supporting that model anymore. So, and we're seeing that a lot of the aftermarket companies that produce custom parts for the Build-A-Bear crowd that likes the P320, we're seeing those folks not supporting the platform anymore, so they don't get sucked into the liability deal, right? So, and from SIG's standpoint, they're pointing out that it is primarily two attorney groups, but one in particular that's driving most of the lawsuits. And it's the same group that kind of put the old Remington out of business. So SIG's kind of pointing at it from that aspect, like this, you almost are going to see a TV commercial. Hey, do you own a SIG P320 and accidentally fired it into the floor? It might be the gun's fault, and you might be eligible for compensation. So regardless of who's right, and I'm not trying to say that SIG's right, and I'm not trying to say that all the SIG haters are right. That's not the point, because it doesn't really matter anymore from a retailer standpoint. It is becoming extremely difficult for us to stock P320s because the the buyer market is dwindling, simply because of all of the publicity around the gun, whether that is right or not, whether there is a reason for that or not. That's what we're seeing is folks are just, when they come in, they see the SIGs in the SIG case and they say, is that the gun that goes off by itself? Short answer, no. The gun doesn't go off by itself. It is easy to pull the trigger on the gun, but when you pull the trigger, the gun's designed to go off. That's what it does. And it's pretty much gotten to the point where it's difficult to say, yeah, you've seen 75 million YouTube videos and you've seen all this other stuff, but you should probably buy it anyway, because it's engineered to not do that. It's got the secondary sear, it's got the drop safety, it's got all these things. So regardless, to the point where now it's kind of regardless of whether the gun is engineered correctly, and I kind of believe it is. SIG needs to do something to save this product line, because it's becoming a dead product line from the retailer standpoint. There's a whole lot of agencies, or a whole lot of civilian law enforcement, military agencies that are contracted with this model, or a variant of this model, and SIG is trying to do what they can, I'm sure, to salvage those. I don't work for SIG, so I'm not sure what they're doing with that, but they need to do something a little proactively. Now, if you remember the early SIG P320s that had the big fat trigger down here, and then SIG, there was a legitimate drop safety issue that SIG was able to duplicate, and they did a voluntary upgrade where they changed it to this trigger, installed some other parts. My opinion, again, I don't work for SIG. I'm not trying to make any recommendations at all, but it may be time to do another upgrade to where they change the grip module out and put a bladed trigger in it. If they do that, then I think it may become a more saleable unit, or at least we can begin to get back to where we were with the P320 a year ago or 18 months ago. So just my opinion, but again, I'm not a SIG hater, and I'm not. I would have no issue carrying a P320. I would not carry an appendix. I don't carry any gun appendix. It's not a P320 thing. I've got too much appendix. I've got too much organic shade over my appendix area to do that, and I'm not going to carry a gun appendix anyway. So it's just not my choice. So I wouldn't hesitate to carry, because there are millions of these guns in circulation that have never had an ND, or what do they call it, uncommanded discharge. There's millions of them that haven't. So, but all of that really at this point for me as a retailer of this product is kind of beside the point, because now it's affecting our bottom line on how we sell the gun. Other part of that is if we sold this P320 and somewhere down the road whoever bought it from us had an unintentional discharge of the firearm, we're going to get sucked into that. Now, Texas product liability law would require SIG to defend us at their cost, but it's still a problem. I had that, not with this product. I had a guy buy a 1911 from another shop, not this store. This is a long time ago in a land far, far away. And he promptly took his wife to the range and tried to load the firearm with his finger on the trigger, pulled back, dropped the slide, gun went bang, and shot his wife through the leg. I got sued, the distributor got sued, the importer got sued, the manufacturer got sued, everybody got sued. In the deposition, they asked me what I thought the proximal cause of that was. I said, well, ask why he pointed a gun at his wife, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And then they stopped talking to me at all after that point. But I don't want to do it again. So P320s, yes, we sell them. Yes, we stock them. Yes, we have them. If people bring in used 320s to trade in, I'm trying to wrap my head around what I should do about that, if I should do it at all, or what. So I haven't really figured that out, but we've got to figure out something. And I hope SIG comes up with a way to try to rebuild the line, because at this point you've either got to rebuild the reputation of the line, or you've got to kill the line. You've got to do one or the other. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't know how you rebuild the reputation of the line without doing something different with the grip frame and the trigger. But then from a legal standpoint now, from SIG's standpoint, have they just set themselves up for issues on all these cases? I don't know. I really don't know where to go with it, but that's just my take on the 320. If you expect me to come out and bash SIG, I'm not going to do that. If you expect me to come out and say SIG is done the perfect job of how they're handling this 320, I'm certainly not going to do that, because I don't believe they are. I don't believe they're handling it well at all. But it's, they have lawyers and legal counsel and all that, but the ripple effect is definitely starting to come out, because as we have people that come into the store and they don't know much about much, they're not gun people. We get those all the time, every day. Gun people that aren't researching and all that other stuff. They just hear a YouTube video or they hear something, and they're looking at a SIG Cross or a SIG 365 or a 226 or any one of the other models that SIG produces that have never had any issue whatsoever. And they say, oh, it's a SIG. Is that one of the guns that goes off by itself? No. I mean, we can generally recover that customer, but we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to jump those hoops, is what I'm saying. So that's my take on it. Drop a comment. I don't want to start a firestorm in the comments. If the comment section gets untoward, we'll delete them. We're not gonna play that game. But we do welcome constructive comments about it, and we appreciate you watching. Hit that like thing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're doing more remembering the past videos all the time. We're about to shoot another one here today. And we'll keep pushing those out. But I just felt that this had gone on too much to not say something about it. So there we go, SIG P320, and we'll see you on the next one.